There is no terrible way to win. There is only winning.
Let me drive. I will make a fool out of you.
Every one of us has to find a reason to do this. You do it because you're driven.
I was beginning to think I'd never be anything more than a piston-happy, lead-foot punk. Then this starts to happen.
Somebody put it in your mind you gotta be perfect every time out or you're a failure. Well, forget that. Just forget it.
You ready to put away your toys and grow up? Are you ready to make more money in 1 year than your father made in his whole life? Are you ready to become a real race car driver?
When I won it was probably the last time I ever felt pure victory.
Because I'm quicker than all of you.
And if you no longer go for a gap that exists, you're no longer a racing driver.
Oh, hell, isn't that what we're in this for? To stare death in the face and to cheat it? Come on, there's nobility in that. It's like being knights.
No pressure, nobody breathing down my back, just driving because I left it pure.
A lot of people go through life doing things bad. Racing's important when they don't do it well. Racing is life. Anything that happens before or after, just waiting.
I just hope when you do that I'm there to see.
Racing. That's the name of the game, isn't it? Win or lose, put up a show.
Fine. Then let's race.
So with me is last year's FIA Karting Academy Trophy title winner and competitor for Ricky Flynn Motorsport in OK Junior in the European and World Karting Championships, Maciej Gladysz. Maciej, great to see you. How have things been so far in 2022?
Hello, Jake. Yeah, it's really good because all the season is going well. And from beginning of the year, I'm always in top 10. So I'm happy about, and I'm in very good team with the great atmosphere, with great sponsors also, and with my family. So it's a great season for me. It's, I think, one of the best of my life.
And this is your first year with Ricky Flynn. Obviously, you moved to the team at the start of the season. What was it about that particular squad that made you think this is going to be a really, really good move for me as I continue in OK Junior?
When it was first test in the beginning of the season, I was a bit nervous because I didn't know what will be the feeling. But when it was the first day, I felt really confident and I knew it will be everything fine for the rest of the season. So, and when I changed the team from Forza to Ricky Flynn, I was happy. After, I was like, I'm in Ricky Flynn. I'm like almost with Lando Norris. I'm on his chassis now, but it's like he was driving in this team. So, it's great to be in Ricky Flynn.
Now, last year, of course, was your first major year in international competition. And alongside racing in the European Championship, you were also racing in the Academy Trophy representing Poland. Tell us about that. It was only 3 weekends. And obviously, you didn't get any testing time in the kart prior to each weekend. So what was it like really trying to bring the best out of yourself from Thursday afternoons?
So about Academy, for me, it was one of the best parties because when I was first time in Wackersdorf, it was really nice because I met new people, new mechanics, and new tracks. And it was everything for me very good because the engines were quite the same. And the drivers were really good. And every weekend was really hard. Like first Wackersdorf, I was 10. Second round in April was very good for me because I won and because I like this track. And the last one, Christianstadt, where I was last week, I was second. And and I like this track. I love this track for me because it's really slow, fast track. So it's nice track. It's really nice.
And last year, of course, at Christianstadt was where you won the title in the Academy Trophy, which is the same championship, of course, that back in 2011, 10 years before you, Charles Leclerc won the title. Yeah. So that's obviously a really big deal. How did it feel when you knew that was, you're in the Hall of Fame with somebody like, the current Ferrari Formula One driver who's fighting for the championship?
It was like, you won Academy, and it's like, you are like one of the part of F1 drivers, so it's really nice to know this. And also Charles Leclerc is my favorite driver, so I'm really glad.
You mustn't let Lando hear you say that, of course.
Oh no,
You mustn't let Lando see you say it.
I mean, Charles is I have a lot of favorite drivers. Like Robert Kubica is my favorite driver. It's a lot of I have favorite drivers. Lando is nice too. When I saw he finished third in Imola, it was really nice to me. But I wanted also to finish Charles on podium. But yeah, he went on curbs. Yeah, he wanted too much, and yeah, he spun by his own. But it was nice, like Lando finished in top 3, because beginning in Bahrain wasn't good, but after they found the pace with McLaren, and now they are like almost every time in top 10, top 5. So yeah, it's nice.
This is one of the things I've always really liked about you, Maciej. Not only are you really focused on your own racing, but you are a mad, passionate supporter of motorsport in general. You really do watch a lot of racing, not just in Formula One. You watch a lot of different things. Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously one thing to be a competitor and to focus on your discipline, but you know, you have a real passion for the sport as an enthusiast as well as a competitor. What is it about the ability to watch it and really soak it up? Because you're in love with all sorts of forms of racing. It's not just Formula One either. You really have an affection for everything.
Yeah, because also I watch Speedway. Like last year, Speedway was in Cardiff, and it was amazing to watch. Also like football. I like also volleyball, because Poland is really good in volleyball. So they won world champion in 2018. So yeah, I like also watch English British Karting Championship. This is nice to watch for me. I'm driving in karting, but it's nice to watch also in different countries. I've never been. And yeah, I like to watch British Karting Championship, because always if something happens, and always like last lap when someone is leading, always this guy is finish the race like P5 or 4. So it's interesting.
So you're watching karting in other countries. How much is that actually helping you in terms of, you know, you're studying other race footage, not just the ones that you're in, but you're actually picking up tips, I guess, and learning things from other championships that you're watching?
Like from British Karting Championship, I'm watching because I'm learning there how to overtake, like how to be more aggressive on track, like smart aggressive. I mean, not to crush someone. When I see someone is first and someone is second, he always overtakes on the outside. So this is really nice to watch. It always is some fights. So, or also I'm watching X30 Miami Euro Series. There is big fight, and I'm watching. So yeah, this is like for me European Championship in OTJ is the same for me.
Well, I see quite a few drivers occasionally going from FIA karting and they're racing there, but they do also race other disciplines of racing. If a race team obviously gave you the opportunity to go and do it at X30 Euro Series, would you be tempted to go and do it, or is OK Junior very much your focus?
I would like to do Miami Euro Series, but there is no time. So yeah,
this is always a difficulty.
Like I really want to do X30, but when it's X30, I have some different race. So yeah, or my family wants to go for some holidays, because holidays or relax is also important. So yeah, some holidays are important.
That's something I really like about you as well. Again, you know, there are a lot of drivers that I've met of your age that are absolutely living and breathing the sport, you know, that day in, day out, they just can't get enough of it, and they're pushing themselves. You actually have a really laid back approach to it. You do obviously do an incredible amount of hard work with your testing, but you also really value the importance of hard time and family time. That's something that, you know, from your own perspective, you really treasure that. What is that? What's the thinking behind that? Is that just something that has naturally always come to you, or have you learnt the more that your racing increases, the more important it is to take some time for yourself?
It's better to have some break, because if you're testing too much or racing too much, it's after not good for your mind, and it's like after you're very tired and you're making mistakes on track. So it's better to have some breaks, stay at home, have some time with family or fun with family. So yeah, it's better sometimes to, I don't know, play football at home or watching also races, but races with the family and telling them what is the feeling, how to drive, and everything. Like, are you nervous before the start and everything? So this is sometimes you need some relax.
It's a really grounded approach. It's really mature. I actually really admire you for it because it's very easy to just lose yourself in the racing. Let's talk a little bit about 2022. You came into the season in OKJ at Champions of the Futures Winter Cup at Franciacorta. Very tough weekend, very cold and very, very competitive. And
yeah,
even though there was no real point at the weekend where you were in dominant form, you were always trying to find the speed and the pace. The team were working very closely with you, but it all came together in the final, and you managed to drive a fantastic race from 10th on the grid through to the victory, and you're still grinning about it now. Is that something that, you know, that really kickstarted your season? And I think ever since then, you've taken on a much more strong, composed, mature approach to your driving. Was that the turning point this year, or has that been something you knew you had in you all along?
So about Franciacorta, this is one of my favorite tracks. Second, my favorite track is Kristianstad. In Franciacorta, from the beginning of the testing, we had very good pace. In the quali, I made little bit of mistakes because I was in the traffic. I was third, but it's okay. First heat we won, like with quite big gap. Second race I started P4. At the start I was like 6, and I came back to P3. And in the last race, when I was leading the first lap, the guy before went into the grass, and I went on this dirt, and I was sliding in the first lap. So after one guy overtook me, and after one guy pushed me off, and I went to 17th position. But I had a very good pace, so I finished 9. For the super heat, I started P5. Before the red flag, I was third, but after I started again P5, and at the start I was 4. And after one guy pushed me a bit wide, and I went a little bit in the grass, I was 10, I think, and I had again very good pace. And I finished 4. Last lap, I was already behind the top 3. For the final, I started P10. And yeah, what I should say, that's I finished P1.
I mean, it's a race that I think a lot of people should go back and watch, because you were very, very composed.
I'm still watching.
Oh, I'm sure you're still watching it every time you get a chance. But it's a race where you kind of built up to it. You never really rushed anything. You took your time to catch the guys in front. You were really good at looking after the tires. Yeah. And it's something that you've built a bit of a reputation for this year, of really managing your tires through the course of a weekend and through the course of a final. I think in Portimao and Zuera, you didn't really get the chance to showcase what you can really do. But certainly last week, we had the Champions of the Future at Kristianstad, and you really were able to prove, you know, what you can do in terms of looking after tires, managing the changing adaptations of weather over the course of the weekend. This is very much a year of, you know, you coming into your own. And now we've got 2 European Championship rounds at, of all places, you know, Kristianstad and Franciacorta. This could be a really strong end to the season for you in the European Championship.
This will be interesting for me because we have very good speed, and yeah, I think we can finish like in top 3 in the European, or our dream and see, or in Franciacorta and European, because these tracks we like the team, and I like, so it will be interesting race, and I will show also the speed.
Fantastic. And of course, you know, we're at the halfway point in the FIA European Championship season at this point. The first 2 weekends, you didn't get the results you felt you deserved and, you know, you were aiming for. But coming to this second half of the season, you know, you can certainly finish the season really strong and be right up there in the top 5 in the driver's standings. Is this all about building momentum now to the World Championship at Sarno? Is this all about, you know, what you guys can learn and what you guys can build heading to September?
When we were in Portimao, first Portimao was really good, but the final, there's some problem. second in Zuera, second Portimao, was everything fine, but I just crashed into heats, and I started in the back for the final finish in top 10. First Zuera was good in the beginning, but after we had not really good pace. But for the second Zuera we had, and I finished 9. In the final we had some problems, but it's fine. And now it's our favorite tracks, so it's really good for me. So I think in this first Christian start, everything was fine. I just made some mistake in the quali. I was in the traffic, and in the super heat I won. Final I was already third, but it started raining, so it wasn't good for me because I never drove in these conditions, and I finished 15. But now I hope so will be dry track, so I think we can finish in top 5 or top 3 in the final.
But I guess race weekends like Champions of the Future, you proved what you could do over the course of Saturday and Sunday morning in particular, and to be able to come through and win the Superheat, having had a very difficult weekend, you really regrouped and you rebuilt that. Are those lessons what are going to make it easier to then go ahead and get the job done in the FIA? I mean, I know that's one of the reasons why a lot of drivers, they favor the Champions of the Future, but does it take the pressure off a little bit, knowing that when you go to Sweden next week, you're going to have good pace, you're going to have good speed based on the data you've already got?
It's good because now we know we have from first Christian start we have the pace, so now we know what is good setup for the next weekend. So we will see what's gonna happen. I must do also good quality because last time I didn't do, but I forgot about this, and I was pushing the heat, and we know what to do.
So based on the pace that Ricky Flynn Motorsport tends to have in this second half of the season, they're usually really strong in the second half of the year. And obviously we have Sarno coming up in September. It's the World Championship, the biggest event for an OK Junior driver. How confident are you that you can make a push for the World Championship that weekend, knowing all of the things that have happened so far, knowing how much you've integrated with the team and they've gelled with you, you've gelled with them? What are the chances of you bringing the World Championship home to Poland? How likely is that now?
For the World Championship will be in Sarno, so it's like third my favorite track because when I was first time testing there, it was really good, and this year I did really good race. So I was 8, but I could done more. But I'm happy that World Championship are in Sarno because maybe I will finish in top 3. We will see. So I'm confident about World Championship. I just must do really good quality, and this is the most important. If you do not good quality, it's not good. You must be strong, and and with the brain, this is the most important. Because if you go too fast in the first lap and everyone will go behind you, it's not good, because after you will give them the slipstream and you can finish like 10 or 15. But if you will go behind all this group and in the last lap you will be behind really good driver, and after you pass him on the straight, it's the best feeling after, because it's really good and you're like in top 3 or in top 5. So we'll see.
And it must be really nice to have the support of the team going through, because you've obviously worked really closely with Ricky Flynn Motorsport, with all the mechanics and your other teammates there, and obviously the Lando Norris chassis. It's the very first year of running it, and you obviously gave them their first major title of the season with the Champions of the Future Winter Cup. So you started the season for them in winning style. So I guess maybe towards this second half of the year, there have been some difficulties, but you're in the best position probably within the junior team to return them to the top step.
Yeah, I think we can do this. Like we can win like Freddie last year, because now it's our favorite track. So yeah.
Amazing. We're really looking forward to seeing what happens with it. Maciej, it's been great to talk to you. Thank you so much. And we'll see you in Kristianstad. Have a good one.
Yeah, thank you very much. See you in Kristianstad.